Hi guys, so I hope you're doing well. Today's video, I just had to check because we've been having some problems with the camera. Yes, we're turning over. So today's video is all about the word to meet. So Kimberly has written a question, but I've lost it, but I remember what it was. It was basically, Luke, I just don't know which word to use when it comes to meeting somebody. This seems to be a common problem. So off we go. So the basic verb that everybody wants to use when they talk about meeting, the one that everybody goes to say first is rencontrer, okay? R-E-N-C-O-N-T-R-E-R, and I will write all these verbs underneath. So I'm just so scared that this is not recording because, yeah, we were okay. So basically what this means is that you go to use rencontrer every single time you meet anybody. But in English, notice that we use the word to meet for the first time that we meet somebody, and then subsequently the next time and following. So I met my friend Sam at university. I'm going to meet her for her birthday this weekend. So that's the problem, and in a lot of other languages we will use a different verb for those two things. So to meet someone for the first time, or to make their acquaintance, as opposed to you're going to go and hang out with them. So that's the dilemma that we're talking about here today. So let's just run through a couple of issues. So rencontrer, first things first. People get scared whenever you see a verb with an R-E on the beginning of it. You think, well, am I re-meeting? Am I whatever's going on? This is an incredibly common thing in French. You are going to see in a minute rejoindre and retrouver, respectively, and they both have a re. So yes, there are times in French when the re will mean to redo something. Very much, this is a common prefix. But you will see many verbs in French where there appears to be a re that for the English speaker seems unnecessary. So rencontrer is to meet somebody for the first time. Now this verb is also problematic because it is pronounced rencontrer, and there are many verbs which have got the R and the C and whatever's going on. So people confuse it with, you know, rassembler, raconter, reconter to recount, se rendre compte, whatever. As a teacher, it always gets joined with raconter and rencontrer, and I get a weird combination hybrid. So can you absolutely make sure that you are not bothered by the fact that there is an R before the final ER, rencontrer? Because people think you're saying, people say, oh, the verb to meet is rencontre. That's the core, that's the short form, that's the present tense. He meets, you know, il rencontre. Or she meets, elle rencontre. So, like the verb montrer, to show, yeah, becoming montre, which also means a watch incidentally, because it shows you the time. The verb just has an extra R. So for example, will meet, rencontrerai. There are other ER verbs with an R before the final ER. Préférer, je préfère. Okay, so first things first, the verb is rencontrer, the short form, the core is rencontre. Okay, so the infinitive is not rencontre, like prendre or vendre. Okay, they sound similar, but that's where it ends. So in other words, the past of rencontrer is j'ai rencontré. Normal like manger, j'ai mangé, rencontrer, j'ai rencontré. Okay? Next point. Rencontrer is very, 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 very much a word where you can show off the fact that you should be vibrating through your vowels. Rencontrer. Get it up here in the nose. Okay? So, paranoid as hell that we're not turning over. No, we are. We're okay. So, yes. So, the verb to meet somebody for the first time will be rencontrer. Any one of the verbs that I'm going to be dealing with in this section can be used reflexively, well, reciprocally, strictly speaking. So let's just make sure you guys know what that means. If somebody does a verb and the person that they are doing the verb to is themselves, if it comes back to them, that is reflexive. Often known in French and French websites as les verbes pronominaux, pronominal verbs, but by definition there are different pronouns. So for example, I wash myself, I'm doing the washing, it's me that's being washed. I talk to myself, I'm doing the talking, it's me that's been talked to, spoken to. As opposed to, so if I said we talk to each other, I'm talking to you, you're talking to me. Nobody is talking to themselves. So that is reciprocal, that is not reflexive. So we get washed, nous nous lavons, we wash each other, wow. nous nous lavons, but you know in context, or what other vocab you stick with it as well. So reciprocal, grammatically, you obviously need plural for reciprocal, and the video on this will be underneath. Reciprocal requires two people. Yeah, it means two people, nobody's doing anything to themselves, but you are doing an equal and opposite action to somebody else. Now, when you do a verb reciprocally, it works like a reflexive, so je me, tu te, il se are obviously the single reflexives, but if we look at the bottom three, nous, nous, vous, vous, il se, so in other words, we speak to each other, nous nous parlons, on se parle, vous vous parlez, il se parle, etc. So if you use a reciprocal verb or a reflexive verb in the past or in any tense with an auxiliary, you are going to have to change the auxiliary verb to être. If that is new for you, stop the video, go to the description, look underneath where I explain how to use reflexive verbs or reciprocal verbs in the past. So in short, I have eaten, j'ai mangé, avoir in the middle, je suis allé, être in the middle, je me suis lavé is I washed myself, that is reflexive, je me suis lavé. We met for the first time, on s'est rencontré. I'm using a reciprocal, I'm using what I call in my videos the poetry past. Yeah, the person, the reflexive, the verb to be, and then the past participle. So in other words then, what this means is you will commonly come across rencontrer, se rencontrer. In a minute we'll have retrouver, se retrouver, rejoindre, se rejoindre. So some verbs in French, the addition of the reflexive changes the verb slightly. So for example, attendre versus s'attendre, you know, wait versus expect, or entendre versus s'entendre, which is to hear versus to get on well with, although by definition it would also mean to hear oneself. So what this means is you need to be looking at the transitive state of the verb. You need to be looking at whether or not you've got another name coming. So you might not be saying the word ourselves. So for example in French, if you said, oh yeah, Kimberly and I, we met online. But if you said nous avons rencontré, French goes, who did you meet? You met who? Oh, you met each other. Well, tell me then. French needs to be told that. So if I said, oh yeah, we're going to meet in town tomorrow, French goes, you're going to meet who? You're going to meet her parents, you're going to meet, oh, you're going to meet each other. You need to tell that. You need to say that, sorry. So, speaker of English. So basically, this is why the verb rencontrer will often be used reflexively, reciprocally. So for example, I met your brother for the first time. J'ai rencontré ton frère pour la première fois. Okay, we met. Nous nous sommes rencontrés. On s'est rencontrés. Yeah, the reflexive past. So if somebody said to somebody, oh, your husband, where did you meet? It's either, où est-ce que vous avez rencontré votre mari? Or, où est-ce que vous vous êtes rencontrés? Or, où est-ce que tu as rencontré ton mari? Well, that would then become plural. So in other words, it's going to use have if you are meeting someone else, meet each other, reflexive past. So Kimberly, the next verb that we would use to meet somebody would be retrouver. Now don't be scared of the fact that we've got to re-find, you know, whatever. I mean, by definition it suggests that you've met them before. Fine. So I'm going to meet Luc in town. Moi, je vais retrouver Luc en ville. Yeah? Or I met Luc in town. J'ai rencontré would be the first time. J'ai retrouvé Luc en ville. Je l'ai retrouvé. On s'est retrouvés. We met. Nous nous sommes retrouvés. They met. Ils se sont retrouvés. 4 subsequent times after the first times. So, the other verb that we could be using